Hey, are you thinking about buying a home in Corona, but you're just not sure where to start? Well, this is the exact video for you because I'm breaking down my complete blueprint on how to buy a home in Corona the right way without overspending. So please make sure to watch to the very end because missing just one of these steps can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. Hi, and welcome to Hiljin Homes, where you will find real estate information that no one else is sharing with you. And if you are thinking about moving to Corona, California, or any of the neighboring cities out here in Southern California, and you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. I'd be happy to assist in any way. Oh, and also, if you are a first-time home buyer, I do have a free first-time home buyer's guide to purchasing a home in 2024. Simply go ahead and download the link over there in the description box, and you could go ahead and have it emailed to you right away. Okay, let's dig in. First things first, let's actually make the decision. Are you really wanting to buy? Are you really ready to buy? Or is this just a Saturday night idea that you had, which has since worn off? If the answer is yes, you definitely want to buy, well, let's continue. Now, before you start looking for a house, you want to have an idea of what you can realistically afford. Many people skip this step and immediately try to go view the first house they see online, which only leads to heartbreak. Either use an online calculator to give you at least a ballpark idea of what you'll need to spend, or go ahead and get pre-approved with the lender. If you want my list of preferred lenders, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm happy to get you connected. So now that you have an idea of what budget you're working with, here's when you can start to look at what type of real estate is available in Corona or anywhere in Southern California. You can go with my website, hiljinsabangan.exprealty.com, and use the filters contingent on budget and needs, which will leave you with the homes that are available right this minute. Hey, by the way, if you are finding value in this video, can you do me a huge favor and like, subscribe, and maybe comment down below? It really helps the channel out a lot. Thank you. And now here are some tips when choosing a home. You want to focus first on the thing that you must have, such as location near schools or a yard for pets. And once you find some homes with those must-haves, you can start being picky about the specifics. So the best way to stay within your budget is to set a list of what you need in a home and then agree to wait for things you simply want and plan to potentially have them later on or simply wait for them in the next home. Now, here's the thing, and this may sound very self-serving, so I'm warning you ahead of time because it really is important. It's at this point that you absolutely must reach out to a real estate agent. My contact information is down below if you don't have one. I can help you anywhere in the United States. So realistically, your agent can help you with the previous steps, but it is at this point that you must get one because the agent is the one who will be helping you access the home for sale, negotiating on your behalf, and helping you navigate through the entire home buying process. And please hear me, do not ever, and I mean ever, use the agent that is listing the home. They do not represent your best interest. They're actually working for the homeowners and not you. In fact, in many states, it's actually illegal to attempt to represent both sides, which is commonly referred to as dual agency. So even if you don't want to use me as your agent, use someone else to represent you on the buying side. And once you've found the perfect home, it's actually time to create the contract. So this is when actually having a real estate agent plays huge dividends because they will go ahead and walk you through this whole process, protect your interests, and hopefully get you to the closing table. All right, so once you have shopped and you actually found a home that you really like, the next step is to actually make the offer. And obviously the agent's gonna help you write the contract out, and hopefully they're gonna explain to you all the little details within the contract as well. Now, there are three things to actually consider while writing the offer. And number one is gonna be the sales price. Now, obviously, this is huge because homes for sale are going to be probably the most expensive investment that you are going to be making as an adult or maybe even in your entire life. So the sales price has to have two things. Number one, it has to be competitive, especially if you are in a situation that there are multiple offers on the table for the seller to review. Number two, you also want to make sure that the sale or the price that you are offering is going to fit within your budget. Obviously, you do not want to overspend for a home. You want to make sure that you're going to be able to live comfortably. You're going to be able to spend time with your family and not stress out about having to pay the mortgage every single month. Now, the second part of this, it's a good segue to the sales price because The second part is actually closing costs. All right. Closing costs are going to be money that you are going to have to spend out of pocket, added on top of the actual down payment of the home. So closing costs is typically going to be about 2 to 5% of whatever the purchase price is going to be. And closing costs is going to be able to pay for the fees of title companies, transfer taxes, insurance, so far and so forth. These are really important things that not a lot of first-time homebuyers actually know, and they actually miss. So by the time they are ready to close escrow, they don't have enough money to be able to actually close, and they lose the house altogether. And the third point to consider while writing out the contract are the contingency periods. As a first-time home buyer, obviously you want to be able to inherit a home where everything is actually the way it's said to be. So that contingency period, or the due diligence period, is that time where you're able to do your own inspections, work with professionals to be able to make sure that there are no excess repairs that are needed to be done around the house. And more importantly, you want to make sure the home is safe. You want to make sure that the big systems, the foundation, the roof, the plumbing, the electricity, all of these systems are good to go and should be able to be good for you for the next 10, 15 years, hopefully. And the final point about when writing the contract is the amount of days to close. Obviously, you want to give yourself enough time to be able to make the transition, hire moving companies, do what you need to do in a timely fashion to be able to move from wherever you are at currently to your new home. All right. So say in theory, you actually got your offer accepted. Congratulations. Now, the biggest next step is going to be turning in the earnest money deposit, or EMD. Now, the earnest money deposit is considered good faith money, and it's typically about 3% of whatever the purchase price is. So one big thing to consider is that the earnest money deposit is not extra money that you are forking out. It's actually money that will be going towards the actual down payment, the total down payment that you will be given if and when you actually close on your home. So one big caveat with the earnest money deposit to consider is it is potentially non-refundable if you do not write the necessary things on the contract to be able to protect that earnest money deposit. Now, there are so many different variables to consider as to how you may lose your earnest money deposit or how to better protect your earnest money deposit. And I don't want to get into that in this video, but this is why it's very important to actually work with an agent who is going to protect your best interests and obviously your wallet to be able to get your earnest money deposit if at all the situation goes bad. All right, so after you turn in the earnest money deposit, you are officially in contract, and then you go ahead and open escrow. From here, when you open escrow, you actually work with a third party who is not really representing the buyer or the seller. They're just working and acting as an intermediary to be able to facilitate the deal, facilitate all of the deposits, all of the contracts, and make sure that everything actually is turned in on a timely manner. So after we open escrow, obviously we have that contingency period where you're able to do your due diligence, inspect the home, make sure everything is as it says it is. So after the contingency period, you will be working very closely with the lender to provide any documentation and signatures in a timely manner to ensure a smooth closing. And at this point, time is of the essence. So making sure to hit every single deadline at the right time is going to be very important to be able to ensure, again, a smooth closing. All right. And as we kind of move along and then we're getting closer to the closing day, we also want to prep for closing. And then there's certain things to actually consider. Number one, home insurance. Number two, you want to have home warranty with all the big appliances, all the big systems that you have. And finally, you also want to make sure that the utilities are transferred to your name. Obviously, you want to be able to move in. You want to have working water. You want to have working electricity so that you could go ahead and start making memories with your family. All right. So and the day before you close, we actually will have the final walkthrough with your agent, hopefully. The final walkthrough allows you to see the home before you actually close to ensure that everything is ready for move-in date. And finally, we have closing day. So at closing, you will sign all the documents necessary to make the home yours and to transfer title under your name. And from there, this is when you will actually finally pay your down payment and all the closing costs needed to actually transfer title. So there you go. If you are thinking about buying a home in Southern California, Corona, Riverside, anywhere in the neighboring cities, now you have a good idea of how it's done. And if I can be of any help in any way, my contact information is down below. Feel free to book a free 30-minute call with me just by clicking that Calendly link down below. All right, thank you so much for spending time with me, guys. I really hope you got value in this video. Till the next one, guys. Bye.